Now we shift our focus to London, where in fact a new round of talks aimed at resolving the trade war between Washington and Beijing are set to in fact take place any moment now. A senior US delegation including Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick will meet Chinese representatives such as Vice Premier He Lifeng to resolve tensions between the world's two largest economies, which is in fact threatening global growth, as we have been seeing and tracking here at NDTV. Chinese exports of rare earths, which are crucial, in fact, for modern technology, as well as Beijing's access to US products, including computer chips, are expected to be high up on the agenda. Only last month, viewers, Washington and Beijing agreed to a temporary truce over trade tariffs, but each country has since accused the other of breaching this deal that they reached. Now, the new round of negotiations follows a phone call between Donald Trump and China's Xi Jinping last week, which the US president described as very good talk. In fact, to throw more light on this developing story, I got Peter Cardillo with me. He's the Chief Market Economist at Spartan Capital Securities, LLC, and he joins us straight from Washington, D.C. Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Cardillo. My first question to you, sir, what are the most significant unresolved issues between Washington and Beijing as they head to London?
Well, I think, one of the big questions is, and I think this is where the focus is going to be, is on rare earth products. And so this probably will be the first step in getting some sort of an agreement between China and the United States. So this is good news. And I think that, for the sake of both countries, a trade deal is probably not that far off. And, if you look at some of the macro news that came out of China this morning, obviously we saw exports plunge over 34% out of China. And so I think it's imperative that both countries iron out their differences and reach to some sort of an agreement. Now, I don't expect that the United States will get all that it wants, and I don't expect that China will get all that it wants. So there'll be some sort of a compromise, and that would be, I think, quite favorable for the markets.
You very interestingly mentioned rare earth exports, Mr. Cardillo. If you could just break it down for our viewers, how much leverage does China actually control of rare earth exports, and what edge does it really give them in these negotiations?
Yeah, they have the leverage because we need them, but they also made some concessions just the other day to the Westerners and on rare earths, because they realize the necessity that they need them. Otherwise, it could spell big trouble for the world economies. And so I think for the U.S. anyway, that's going to be the beginning of a major focal point of a trade deal, but I think they'll probably wind up with some concessions. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see within a day or two have some positive announcements on rare earth materials.
From what you just said, Mr. Cardillo, do you actually see a realistic path to a sustainable trade agreement in a couple of days, or will this just be or is likely to remain a cycle of temporary truces, like another truce?
Well, let me clarify that. I'm saying I think they could get some agreement on rare earth products. That's the central point right now. A full agreement on trade, no, that's going to take time. But right now, it's a necessity that some sort of an agreement is reached on rare earth products, and I think that that's doable. China knows that we need them, and the United States knows that we need China to open up on that, and I think they will. And that, of course, will be a prelude to other agreements. But now again, other agreements are not going to take 24 hours or 48 hours. It's going to take a time. And China is not going to in my opinion, not going to give in to what the United States wants. There'll be an agreement, a compromise for both countries that would make it seem as though both countries had a victory.
A compromise which will make it seem as if both countries were victorious. Thank you so much for putting the development into perspective for our viewers here in India and around the world.